This is what it said, man. Sunday nights on NBC are just meant for sports. The network aired the first two games of its Sunday night basketball franchise last weekend, and the doubleheader delivered record-setting viewership. Sunday night's first game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks from Madison Square Garden averaged 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo. Oh my goodness, 4.5? Making it the most watched Sunday night regular season.
4.5 million people watched. Think about that for a moment. This was not a playoff game or the finals. It was just a regular Sunday night NBA game, and it became the most watched Sunday broadcast since 2002. The reason was not LeBron, and it was not the Knicks and Lakers rivalry. The real reason was Caitlin Clark sitting courtside with a microphone, talking about a sport she does not even play professionally. In her first appearance as an analyst, she broke NBC's viewership records. Now the network president is openly saying he wants her to return for more than just her one scheduled appearance in March. This is bigger than one broadcast. It is about timing, influence, and a player who is changing what women's basketball players can ask for and expect.
Look, man, Caitlin motion is ridiculous. Anything she puts her hand on, it turns to gold. It's crazy work. It's crazy work, man. And I've never seen this for women's basketball. Now, when we're talking about Michael Jordan, I was too young to really understand anything that was really going on. I mean, I knew about him and my family talked about him, but I didn't necessarily witness what was going on with him. And this actually goes back to where the NBA was saying they needed Caitlin Clark to come over and shoot in the three-point contest, or at least have that contest against Stephen Curry, because they need her. They need her, man. Their numbers
Here has been unbelievable. Anything Caitlin Clark touches seems to turn to gold. It is honestly amazing to watch. We have never really seen anything like this in women's basketball before. When people compare it to Michael Jordan, I was too young to fully understand what was happening during his rise. I knew who he was and heard my family talk about him, but I did not experience it in real time. What we are seeing now feels similar in terms of impact. There was even talk about the NBA wanting Caitlin Clark to take part in a three-point contest with Stephen Curry because they need her star power. The league's ratings have been dropping, and they are looking for something to bring excitement back. The numbers make it even more shocking. The most watched WNBA game of the 2024 season, which was Caitlin Clark's playoff debut, had 2.5 million viewers. That was seen as a huge and historic moment for women's basketball. But she nearly doubled that audience just by sitting courtside and talking about an NBA game she was analyzing. The NBA has been losing regular season viewers for years, with ratings steadily declining since 2018. They have tried different ideas like changing the all-star format, adjusting load management rules, and promoting younger stars, but nothing made a major difference. Then they put a 23-year-old rookie from the WNBA in the analyst chair, and suddenly they reached their highest Sunday numbers in more than 20 years. NBC Sports president Rick Cordella publicly praised her performance, saying she checked every box, understood the game, explained things clearly, and handled the spotlight with confidence. He also said he hopes to see more of her in the future. That is not just a simple compliment. That is a network executive openly showing strong interest because he understands the value she brings.
And let's get some viewership going for the All-Star weekend. And that's why I didn't necessarily like what Elle Duncan was doing when she was trying to say, you know, it's a battle between men and women and the men need to go over there. It's like, man, it's not about that, man. It's not about that at all. It's just getting the hot commodity to come over and help with the NBA. The NBA has been helping the WNBA since its existence. Why not? You know, and it's fine that Caitlin didn't want to do her first one in the NBA. I understand that, but
this is where the timing becomes really interesting. Right now, the WNBA is in the middle of difficult collective bargaining agreement talks. The players' union chose to opt out of the current deal because they want a bigger share of league revenue. The league responded with a proposal that would raise the average salary from $120,000 to $540,000 by 2026, with projections that it could reach $780,000 within 5 years. The maximum salary could increase from $250,000 to as much as $2.4 million if revenue hits the highest targets. However, the players' union said the offer was insulting and decided to stand firm on their demands. Because of that, there is a real chance the WNBA might not have a 2025 season. At the same time, Caitlin Clark just showed on national television that her value goes beyond the WNBA. By analyzing an NBA game, she attracted more viewers than many WNBA players do while actually playing. It highlights how powerful her influence is right now and adds another layer to the ongoing negotiations.
All right, so it says NBC Sports leadership weighs in. Rick Cordella spoke positively about Clark's debut, noting that she did a good job and handled the role with ease. He highlighted her understanding of the game and her ability to communicate clearly, two qualities that translate well from the court to the broadcast booth. Cordella also made it clear that Clark was well prepared and comfortable in the setting, something that stood out given the size of the audience and the spotlight that comes with an NBA national broadcast. So he loved every bit of what Caitlin Clark did and what she brought to the broadcast. Now, this is where he started talking a little bit about
Think about the position this creates for everyone involved. The WNBA's whole negotiating strategy is based on the idea that the league is growing and that players deserve a larger share of that growth. And to be fair, the growth is real. The 2024 season had record attendance, record merchandise sales, and record social media engagement, but there is an uncomfortable reality behind those numbers. Most of that growth is closely connected to one player, Caitlin Clark. During the regular season, her games averaged about 1.2 million viewers. Games she did not play in averaged around 394,000. That is not a small difference. That is roughly a 3-to-1 gap. When she was not on the court, viewership looked very similar to what it has been over the past decade. The Indiana Fever sold out arenas across the country when they were on the road. Several teams had the highest attendance in franchise history when Indiana came to town. Caitlin Clark's jersey sales reportedly outpaced every other WNBA player combined by a huge margin. Now she has shown that she can attract even bigger audiences while talking about an NBA game instead of playing in a WNBA one. It raises a powerful question about leverage. The NBA benefits from her presence. NBC clearly sees her value. And more, it seems like the WNBA may rely on her star power just as much, if not more, than she relies on the league.
I guess I'm here for it. I'm here for it if that's all we're going to get. But I definitely hope that they end up figuring out this whole CBA thing, man. Now, I did see this yesterday, but I didn't too much care to talk about it, man. It's the same old status quo with the CBA proposal, but somehow it was leaked by Ramona Shelburne. I don't think it was leaked by her. I think ESPN leaked it. She just put it on her Twitter, but it's funny that it says confidential and everybody has it now. But anyway, they was just saying some of the things that the proposal is given, right? Substantially increase player salaries to reflect recent and future business growth, promote business health and profitability, maintain...
Let's look at what NBC is really offering here. This is not just about 1 or 2 guest appearances. When the president of NBC publicly says he wants to see more of someone, and even points to her next scheduled appearance on March 29 while adding that he hopes she continues moving forward, that sounds a lot like early contract talks happening out in the open. In sports media, broadcasting is where the biggest money is. Tony Romo signed a $180 million deal with CBS to call NFL games. Troy Aikman reportedly landed a $90 million contract with ESPN. Those are top-level examples, but even solid NBA analysts earn 7 figures a year. Caitlin Clark just showed she can bring in ratings that make that kind of investment make sense. She is only 23 years old, has no formal broadcasting background, and yet she instantly became NBC's most valuable Sunday night presence. Practically speaking, if the WNBA season does not happen in 2025, she does not lose leverage. She actually gains more. She could spend that time building her broadcasting career, drawing huge audiences for NBC, and expanding her popularity beyond traditional basketball fans. When negotiations eventually pick back up, she would return with proof that she can succeed in more than one space. That is a level of leverage most WNBA players have never had before.
Team and league investment, right? So, yeah, basically just saying these are the things we're going to be giving them, and this is what they're denying. Now, this could be a play to, once again, win over the public. I don't know. But it is interesting to see that they have the Supermax salary, their projections here. $250 is what was going on last year. Of course, we heard that it could get up to $1.2 million when they do sign the max. And then they were saying in the next 5 years, it could get up to $1.8 million. Now, they also dropped a higher revenue scenario, which added 5% to what they were getting out of the 5 years. So I'm guessing, the 25% increase or whatever the case may be, it's projected to get to 2.
And this takes us right back to the CBA negotiations and why that leaked proposal matters so much. The confidential document that Ramona Shelburne shared laid out the league's financial projections for the next 5 years. The WNBA is offering major salary increases, with supermax deals that could reach $1.8 million and average salaries projected to climb to $780,000. They are also planning to expand rosters from 12 to 14 players and even include free WNBA League Pass subscriptions for players, which is a little ironic when you think about professional athletes having to pay to watch their own league, but hidden inside those projections is a big assumption. The league expects 5% annual revenue growth based on the momentum from the 2024 season. That forecast depends on the belief that the same forces driving 2024's success will continue year after year. The biggest driver of that success right now is Caitlin Clark, and she is currently showing that she has opportunities outside the league that the WNBA cannot control. So the real question becomes what happens to those revenue projections if she decides broadcasting brings in more money and puts less strain on her body than playing a full WNBA season. What if she chooses to play overseas in the winter, work as an analyst for NBC in the spring, and skip the WNBA season altogether? That is not just a wild scenario. For a 23-year-old with rare earning potential, that could be a very real business decision.
Amazing work for players in the WNBA playing for 4 months, man. I love it. I think it's fair. You know, this proposal has been defined as a slap in the face, all this other stuff. I don't know if it's a slap in the face or not. It seems pretty decent to me. But, you know, I understand if they don't want to do it, they want to keep trying to get more and more. It is what it is, but I don't think this is a slap in the face, man. And then, of course, we see the average player salary over here was $120,000 in 2026, or if they sign the CBA, it will be $540,000, the average, right? $780 by the end of 5 years. So the contract will be 5 years. They can renegotiate and get what they're trying to really get if everything works accordingly. I don't know why they're acting like this is a CBA that you sign one time and it's all over. You're never getting another CBA negotiation. I'm like, yo, just take what you can get, and then let's see what you can get after the 5 years, right? Let's see how well y'all do in the 5 years. Then you will have something to fall back on. But yeah, and they were saying the average could be $1 million across the organization, across the league, right? If everything works out perfectly with the 5% extra on top. So, hey, man, I don't know. It seems pretty good to me. Now, they did have some weird things in this improvement here. A few of them would be elimination of that grass testing, all right? That smoke is what we call it down here in Georgia, the smoke, okay? Now, it's crazy you eliminate the testing, but then you would add new treatment programs for the grass or alcohol abuse. Like, what? Talk about contradicting yourself. I mean, I guess, man. But shorter disqualification periods under anti-drug program. Interesting, man. Complimentary all-star tickets for all players. Now, I thought all players get this anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, okay. And then free WNBA League Pass. Man, that's tough. That is tough, man. They can't even watch. They watching like us. That's crazy work. But one thing I did like a long time ago that they announced was the two new developmental player roster spots. Now, it's a kick to it because I think they only get to play 8 games or something like that. I'll take it, you know, because 12 players, man, I mean, come on, fam. They need more players than that. But they have 14 to the roster now, and I think each player can play 8 games in the league. But, yeah, man, I could be wrong. I just felt like it was something interesting about that, though. But yeah, if they could play 8 games, I'll take it. It's working in the right direction of adding more players to that roster. That's the main thing I want. That and referees, man. All this other stuff, y'all work that out. But referees and more players to that roster. That's what I want, man. But nonetheless, this is everything that's really going on with the CBA negotiation, man. So I'll keep my eyes out for it, but I just didn't feel like this was something I wanted to talk about. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Caitlin Clark, record-breaking viewership, and then also, how do you feel about the CBA? Do you like it? Do you love it? You think it's fair? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comment section, man. I love y'all.
Situation feels different from anything women's basketball has seen before. In past generations, even the biggest WNBA stars still needed the league more than the league needed them. Players like Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Maya Moore were the faces of the sport, but their earning power was limited by the league's revenue. Many of them played overseas to make more money and relied on endorsement deals to increase their income. The WNBA was still the center of their careers and the main platform that gave them visibility. Caitlin Clark may be the first player who does not fully depend on that platform. At University of Iowa, her college games drew television audiences that sometimes outperformed WNBA finals broadcasts. Her rookie season brought new and casual fans into WNBA arenas. Now she has shown that she can attract huge audiences even while talking about an NBA game instead of playing in one. That kind of leverage is something women's basketball has never really seen. The NBA clearly understood her drawing power months ago. They invited her to take part in the All-Star Weekend three-point contest and possibly compete against Stephen Curry, widely considered the greatest shooter in NBA history. The idea was that she would shoot from the WNBA three-point line while he shot from the NBA line, creating a fair and exciting event. She declined, which made sense for her rookie year. But the fact that the NBA made that offer shows how valuable they believe she is in terms of attention and ratings. Some commentators, like Elle Duncan, suggested the invitation was unfair or one-sided. But the NBA has financially supported the WNBA for decades, covering losses and providing marketing and infrastructure support. Cross-promotion is common in sports. Big stars expand their brands across platforms all the time. That is business, not exploitation. What stands out is that Caitlyn did not need that all-star moment. Turning it down did not hurt her popularity. If anything, it showed she is building her career carefully and on her own terms. Now she is working with NBC in a role she chose, on a schedule that fits her, and delivering record numbers. That is real leverage. The WNBA Players Union has to recognize what this means. They are negotiating based on the league's strong 2024 season, but much of that success is tied to one player who is proving she has options outside the league. If there is number 2025 season, the players most affected will be those whose income depends entirely on the WNBA operating as usual. Caitlin Clark has endorsement deals with major brands and now potential broadcasting opportunities. She could play overseas, continue media work, and maintain her visibility. The leaked proposal shows the league understands how serious this is. They are offering major salary increases that would dramatically change players' lives. An average salary of $540,000 is a huge jump from $120,000. But the market's ability to sustain those salaries depends heavily on continued growth, and that growth is closely linked to whether Caitlin Clark keeps playing in the league. That is why her broadcasting debut matters so much. It is not just about one impressive rating. It is about power, leverage, and options. For the first time in WNBA history, the league's biggest star has a realistic and attractive alternative outside the league itself. Caitlin Clark has just shown that she can make as much, or even more, money with less physical strain by analyzing basketball than by playing it. NBC Sports president Rick Cordella praised her for handling her role with ease, understanding the game, and communicating clearly, exactly the qualities networks pay millions for in their top broadcasters. At just 23 years old, Caitlin could transition into full-time broadcasting in a few years and build a 20-year career earning 8 figures annually. This isn't speculation. That's what the market pays for elite talent who can draw massive audiences. When thinking about the WNBA's CBA negotiations, it's important to put this in context. The players have more leverage than ever, but that leverage is concentrated almost entirely in one player, and she just proved she doesn't need the WNBA as much as the league needs her. Now the big questions are, will she take on more broadcasting work during the off-season? Will NBC offer her a formal contract for multiple games? Will she use this as leverage with the Indiana Fever when her rookie contract ends? All of these possibilities are now on the table because of that Sunday night broadcast. This could even help the WNBA in the long run. If Caitlin becomes a regular NBA analyst reaching 4 million plus viewers, she stays in the public eye year-round. Fans who don't normally watch women's basketball could tune in when she plays because they already know her. That kind of crossover star power is how you build a sustainable brand, the way Michael Jordan and LeBron James did decades ago. The WNBA has never had a player with that kind of reach, until now. Caitlin analyzing NBA games, playing WNBA games in the summer, and doing endorsements year-round creates a brand that can support the high financial demands the Players Union is making, but only if the league exists. If the CBA negotiations fail and there's number 2025 season, all that momentum could disappear. Casual fans from 2024 would move on, media attention would fade, and the league would lose the unique window of opportunity Caitlin is creating. Caitlin herself would be fine. She has options, from overseas contracts to broadcasting deals, but the rest of the league would be back to fighting for attention and survival. So, 4.5 million viewers for her broadcasting debut should serve as a wake-up call to the WNBA Players Union. Their biggest star doesn't need the league as much as the league needs her. It should motivate everyone to find a deal that works, because the alternative is losing a generational talent during the only time she is driving unprecedented growth. The league's proposal might not be perfect, but it's real money based on realistic projections. The union's demands might be justified, but that value is concentrated in ways that make the negotiation far more complex than a simple revenue split. Caitlin Clark just spent a Sunday night reminding everyone she has options the league can't control.